It's the Gear Tester here. In this video I want to look at the practical accuracy of the Ruger Gunsite Scout. I've had this rifle for over 6 months and I've enjoyed shooting it, and I have been impressed with the accuracy that I have been able to achieve from this rifle. You can see here that I have the rifle set up not in the Scout configuration, meaning I don't have a long eye relief, a low power scope here forward on the gun. I've just put a standard Leupold VX1, a 3x9 scope, and I've just put it in the standard configuration for most rifles. So this is just the standard configuration with the rifle scope rings that Ruger includes with the Gunsite Scout. And I did that because I wanted this gun to just be an average bolt action gun. I understand that many people love the Scout rifle concept. I'm not necessarily a big fan of that. I like just the standard scope. I wanted to have a scope that had maximum magnification that allows me to be more accurate. Many of those Scout rifle scopes that go forward here, they have great eye relief so you can shoot with both eyes open, but they don't have the same level of magnification. I wanted that 9 power or even greater. Possibly I may change my scope out here. So I shot at 100 yards consistently with this gun, and I want to show you some of the first groups I shot and then some groups that I shot later. All the bullets that I used for the targets that you're going to see here are these 168 grain Sierra hollow point boat tail ammunition here. I have this HSM ammunition. I paid about $20 for a number of these boxes of ammo, and I've been shooting through them, and they have done very nicely for me. I've been impressed with the ammunition's accuracy that I've gotten from that gun. Probably some of this accuracy has to do with that Sierra hollow point boat tail bullet that is being fired out of the rifle. So here's one of the targets that I shot first. I think this is actually the first target I shot with my Ruger Gunsite Scout. I was shooting from a bench using the Harris bipod. Alright, and I fired here. You can see some groups. These aren't fantastic groups, but these are some of the first groups I fired as I was zeroing the gun. And I've had good experiences zeroing Ruger's rifles from the range. So you can see right here, this lower one, we're talking about a 2 1/4 inch group there. Up here we've got another 2 1/4 inch group, and then we've got 3 rounds. These are all 3 round groups. We've got a 1 1/2 inch group at 100 yards. Okay, so I'm seeing here within the first 20 rounds that I fired, I'm getting an 1.5 inch group at 100 yards. And I found that the trigger on my Ruger Gunsite Scout is very nice. I wouldn't call it extremely light. It doesn't feel like a target trigger, but you're seeing that I'm being able to take advantage of this gun and get, at 100 yards, 3 shots, I'm getting 1 1/2 inch group. And for me, as I saw that, I thought, this gun has accuracy potential. That's probably under 1.5 inches that you can see right there. So that really impressed me, and I ended up shooting this gun. I wish I had video of this, but I ended up shooting this gun at 200 and out to 300 yards on some steel plates. And I was able, just by holding above, just having just Kentucky windage, holding above the target, being able to hit those steel targets out to 300 yards consistently. And I think I even shot a gong, I'm trying to remember here, whether it was this day, I shot a gong out at like 400 or 500 yards and was able to consistently do that, partly because you got this big 168 grain heavy 308 round that's going very fast out of the 308 rifle, and I was just impressed with the ability to have it zeroed on clearly at 100 yards and then be able to hit out to 500 yards. I'm dialing up my magnification, but consistently being able to shoot steel targets, smaller steel targets, out at 200 and 300 yards. I was very impressed with this gun. I haven't shot out at 200, 300 yards on paper. I haven't got those targets for you guys. And we'll try and do that here in Range Reports 1, 2, and 3 on the Ruger Gunsite Scout. Just wanted to show you one other target. And this is at 100 yards. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rounds that I fired out of my Ruger Gunsite Scout at 100 yards. And you can see there. And I fired these relatively quickly, and I wasn't being super worried about precision as I did this. I wanted to see how can I do. Again, I was shooting with the Harris bipod on a bench, but we're right at 2 inches. Okay, 8 rounds at 2 inches, and you can see there, if I had not thrown these two, we'd be looking at an 1.5 inch. You know, we'd be looking at 6 rounds in an 1.5 inch group at 100 yards from the Ruger Gunsite Scout. I haven't done anything to modify the gun except put a scope on it and be careful as I squeeze the trigger. And I think that this is the kind of accuracy that you're going to be able to expect if you go and pick up a Ruger Gunsite Scout. I think it is an accurate gun. For me, I think the Scout rifle concept and the box magazine are great ideas, and I enjoy them. I enjoy having a detachable magazine, but I think the Ruger Gunsite Scout was overplayed for what it is. It's really a great rifle. It's a M77 Hawkeye, you know, from Ruger, and it has a detachable magazine and iron sights. And I think the Scout rifle concept and it being the one rifle that you'd ever need for the rest of your life, I think that was a little bit overplayed. But they've done some things that make this rifle better than their other M77 rifles. For one thing, I like the short barrel. I don't think it hurts accuracy, and I don't think that you need the 100 feet per second that you lose for having the shorter barrel. I don't think you lose that much. So I like the fact that it's overall it is shorter. I like the fact that the barrel comes already threaded. So if you wanted to put a like, we've got a flash suppressor already on it from Ruger, but if you wanted to put a suppressor on it, or if you wanted to put a compensator or something like that on it, it's already threaded and ready to go. I like the fact that they made the barrel free floating. And I think that you can't avoid the fact that has contributed greatly to the Ruger Gunsite Scout's accuracy as you see that I'm experiencing it. Many of their other Hawkeye guns are just, you know, just a plastic stock that's not cut. And so the barrel actually rests on that, and you lose some of that accuracy. Just to show you guys the free floating here that's going on, we'll see if I can get this 3x5 card under there. But you got full motion all the way up. Okay, free motion all the way up to there on the gun. So that free floating, I think that really contributes to the gun's accuracy. For me, the functionality of this gun, the ability to control the length of pull because of their variable, I've got a number of different little plastic pieces that attach here. I've got it at its shortest distance. So the stock is about 13 inches overall length of pull for me. That means that I can really get into this gun and that it fits me. It's actually under 13 inches. Okay, some of the other Ruger guns are like 13.5 inches length of pull. A 1022 has a 12.5 inch length of pull. So this is much closer with all those spacers removed, and for me that allows me to be more accurate with the gun because I'm able to customize it. So I think that those features, the fact that the barrel is completely floated, free floated barrel, and that I'm able to adjust the length of pull on this rifle have really contributed to this gun's accuracy in my hands, and I think it will allow you to tailor the gun's accuracy, being able to control the length of pull, and the fact that you don't have to do any weird free floating, you don't have to do any bedding like that. I think that this gun, the Ruger Gunsite Scout, is just an excellent rifle, and I think you're going to be able to achieve good accuracy from it because of the changes or the slight upgrades that Ruger has done to the Gunsite Scout from the factory. Another thing that I really like about this rifle is the fact that it has these reinforcements coming right through there. I like that. It gives the gun kind of a Alaskan Safari rifle look to it. I like the increased durability that the gun receives by having those points going through and reinforcing the barrel and the stock together. I like that. I don't know if Ruger does this consistently, but you can also see here that instead of just running a bolt straight holding the barrel on, this bolt is actually angled. So not only does it pull the barrel down to the gun, it actually cinches it down this way. So it forces it down and holds it this way instead of just holding it down. I think that also contributed to the gun's accuracy. I can't remember if the other Hawkeyes use this kind of an attachment method for retaining the barrel to the stock, whether they just use, I know on my Ruger 77-357 Magnum, it's just a straight screw that holds the barrel onto the stock here and then into the trigger guard back here. I like the fact that this is angled. I think that probably also contributes to the gun's durability and accuracy. I think the Ruger Gunsite Scout is accurate. That's what I've experienced as I continue to shoot more rounds through this gun. As I continue to enjoy shooting it, I will upload range reports 1, 2, and 3 and a tabletop review in the next 6 months or so. Thank you very much for your views and your subscriptions. My goal is to produce quality video reviews of shooting, camping, and survival gear. The Ruger Gunsite Scout has a good quality trigger. The fact that it is has a free-floated barrel and that it has those adjustable length of pull makes this gun, I think, a very accurate rifle, one that I would definitely recommend to you. This is the Gear Tester signing off.